Hi, welcome to Julius Bar. Today we're gonna mix a variation on the last caress. I found out about the last caress cocktail from Rob Ballard's Instagram account. It's a cocktail originally by Jackson Mercier out of Bryant Lounge in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The recipe features Bottle and Bond apple brandy, which is American brandy made from apples at 50% ABV. And I never seen that here in Japan. So I had to adapt the recipe to the use of Calvados. Also, while I was at it, I decided to switch out a couple other things. Namely, I lowered the amount of genepì in the cocktail to lower the amount of sugar and to better define the overall flavor of the cocktail. And more significantly, I switched from Averna as an Amaro to Château Bigallet, which is more bitter. And that's a change I really thought it was needed. With that said, let's get down to mixing. And I'm gonna start like the original recipe with 3 dashes of Peychaud bitters. Then I'm gonna go on with 22.5 ml or 3/4 of an ounce of genepì. I'm using the genepì from Distilleria Quaglia. Then 30 ml or an ounce of Château Bigallet in place of the Averna of the original recipe. And finally, 37.5 ml or 1 ounce and a fourth of Calvados in place of American apple brandy. Let me get some ice. And let's give this bad boy a stir. Original name of this cocktail is Last Caress, after a Misfits song, which has one of the darkest and most outrageous lyrics of all time. It was famously covered by Metallica in what I would just argue is their beginning of the end, or when they decided that, okay, we're gonna do one more good album and then we're gonna start sucking. But anyway, let me grab a chilled glass. And while the original was served on the rocks, I would serve my version straight up, just because. Let's just decorate with a maraschino cherry. Let's do 2. And there you go, my last caress variation. I would like to call this the last careless whisper. Cheers. Delicious. Yeah, probably because I'm missing the 50% ABV apple brandy from US, I thought the original recipe was unfocused. It needed some straightening up, and by changing slightly the amount and switching the Averna for the Château Bigallet, which is stronger and more bitter, made the cocktail less sweet and overall totally better. This is quite good. You can appreciate every ingredient. The 3 dashes of Peychaud. Always love that touch of spice and anise. Château, bitter, nice. Genepì, bring a bit of sugar and other aromatics. Calvados, just the base over which this edifice of flavor is built. And I invite you to try this variation and hopefully you will like it. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, comment down below, share with anybody you like and don't like. Steal yourself another really strong, really awesome cocktail, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers. I guess I can complain a bit more about Metallica and how I think they cover Last Caress as they did cover Evil by Merciful Fate. You can just imagine Lars looking at the lyrics from these cool bands and saying like, oh, they're so bad, let's be like them, we are gonna be hardcore as them, and then somehow they turn out that they wanted to be the U2 of heavy metal, and they failed at that too. But besides that, let's talk about why I call this cocktail the last careless whisper. And the reason is just because he has some similar letters. That's it. But I will say the Careless Whisper by WHAM / George Michael. It was released in some countries as a WHAM song, in some other countries as a George Michael song. Was a great base for one of those mashups you see nowadays where people put together two songs. And in this case it was Careless Whisper by WHAM and Season in the Abyss by Slayer. Pretty good combo. But people didn't stop there, and they made many of this collaboration between WHAM and Slayer. I guess because the rhythmic singing by Tom Araya is almost toneless, and that makes it easy to mesh it with any background music. And so we had Club Tropicana and War Ensemble mashup, and my absolute favorite, Last Christmas and Angel of Death mashup, which is just sweet. I'm gonna try and link all of those down below, so if you're interested, take a listen. Pretty good.
I got something to say. I kill a baby today.